All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this little quick presentation of the statistics after 2 months of the 1987 American League replay. You can see in the standings in the American League East, Milwaukee and Toronto neck and neck. I'm sorry, Milwaukee and New York neck and neck with Toronto right behind them. But don't sleep on Detroit. They're only 5 games back, and they're actually 2 games ahead of where they were in real world. So they're going to get probably start improving more as the year goes along. They start adding players like Bill Madlock and some other people, Doyle Alexander, uh, that can certainly improve their cause. In the American League West, Oakland hanging on to a slim lead over Kansas City and Chicago at 2 games back. But then you got Minnesota and California at 4.5 back. Don't sleep on either one of them, particularly Minnesota. They are 3 games worse than what they did in real world, but they can still end up winning this division. They won it by 2 in real world over Kansas City. Texas is not completely out of. They just don't have the pitching, so I just don't think that's going to hold up. And of course, Seattle mired in last place. All right, so let's go to team standings. We'll start with Toronto and look at their team stats. You can see they're 11 and 10 at home, 19 and 7 on the road, so much better on the road record. Look at their individual stats. And the first thing that pops out is Jimmy Key. Jimmy Key right here, 11 and 0 with a 1.39 earned run average. He is definitely the top pitcher in the league right now, bucking for obviously Cy Young, but maybe even some MVP votes, but definitely Cy Young, no question about it. And up in their hitters, you got Jesse Barfield leading the league in home runs with 16, and you've got George Bell and Mosby doing pretty much a good deal there as well. Let's look at the teams that are right there with them, the New York Yankees and the Brewers. Here are the Yankees. Yankees, Claudio Washington leads them in hitting, but he's on the injured list right now. So we got Henderson and Mattingly right there together, but Mattingly's kind of underperforming. He should be over 300. He's only hitting 295. And then Mr. May, Dave Winfield, is not bad. 270 average, 10 homers, 28 driven in. So not too bad for Mr. May, but who knows what's going to happen the rest of the season with him. And then Righetti, he has 12 saves, but his ERA is over 4. So he's going to have to improve on that if he wants to continue to secure some saves. Look at Milwaukee. And Milwaukee, a great relief year so far for Mark Clear, 2-1 with a 109 earned run average and a couple of saves to boot. Their closer, Plesac, 10 saves, but his ERA is almost 5. 2.2 record, 491 ERA, so he's having some issues. Paul Mulder is hitting 402, but he does not have enough at bats to qualify for the league lead. He will eventually get those at bats, so we'll see if he keeps that average going. But 402, pretty good deal there for him. Swain and Yount both lead with 10 home runs. Especially Swain, he's got 12 doubles and 10 home runs, so he's doing really well for himself. We go to the American League West, where we have Oakland. See what Oakland is doing. Mike Davis leads their team in hitting. Canseco right behind him, and McGuire all there with all those home runs. Even Hot Dog Jackson, even though he's only hitting 213, he does have 11 home runs, so he is a run producer. And he's doing quite well for himself. Dave Leeper, the surprise of the bullpen, he is 2-1 with an ERA of 0.41 in 22 innings of pitching. He's only given up 1 earned run and only 12 hits, so very, very good for him. Eckersley just had his second start and his final start. He will be bullpen exclusive from here on out. 4-3, 2.25 ERA and 7 saves. Howell, their other closer, 1-1 with a 3.72 ERA. Their top starter, Dave Stewart, in 10 starts is 5-3 with an ERA of 3. All right, chasing them is Kansas City. Go to Kansas City, and you see Danny Tartabull leads their team in hitting and he's got double digits in doubles and home runs. So he's kind of their offensive MVP. Although Willie Wilson is hitting 300 with 15 steals, so that's pretty good deal there, I would think. Bo Jackson actually has 11 steals. Look at their pitching. Quisenberry leads their bullpen 2-2, 4-1 record with a 2.22 ERA and 3 saves. Pitching quite well. In 24 and 30 innings, they only walked 2 guys. The other half of that bullpen is Steve Farr, and he has been struggling. He's 2-1 with a 4.67 ERA and 5 saves. Top starter, of course, is Saberhagen. He's only 5-5, but his ERA is 2.59, so obviously not getting the run support he would need, and he should have because he had 5 complete games, including 1 shutout. So, not too bad there for them. They're hanging around at second place. And right there with them are the Chicago White Sox. And if you look at the White Sox, let's see, not really anybody standing out offensively that I can see. They're all kind of middle of the road, but of course Bannister is their top pitcher. He is 6-0 with a 2.02 ERA, and if not for Jimmy Key, he would be the Cy Young winner. 10 starts, 4 complete games, 2 shutouts. 80 in the third innings pitched, only 60 hits. So he's done quite well for himself. The bullpen is a tandem of Thigpen and Bob James, and they combine for 13 saves. James struggling though with a 5.89 ERA. I believe Thigpen right now is on the injured list, so he is not active. So James is going to have to carry the load in the bullpen. Ray Searage has already pitched 20 games as a lefty. It's pretty much the only lefty in the bullpen they can turn to. So the danger there is overusing him. We've got to make sure we don't overuse him. And let's look at Minnesota, because Minnesota is not that far behind either. Greg Gagne, surprisingly, is leading their team in hitting at 361. Of course, you got Puckett and Herbeck, the usual suspects right here as well. Herbeck with his 14 home runs. But Frank Viola, leading the team in pitching. 5-2 with a 2.46 ERA. 5 complete games and 2 shutouts. And he will be on June 1st, when we come back on a Wednesday, the June 1st game we play on Wednesday morning will be Boston and the Twins. It'll be Viola against Roger Clemens. So that's what they've got there. Their closer, Reardon, not doing the greatest. 2-1, 3.38 ERA, does have 8 saves. Speaking of Boston, let's look at Boston real quick just for the heck of it. Wade Boggs hitting 342, doing Wade Boggs things. So he's doing quite well for himself, you would say. If there's any surprises or disappointments, maybe Bill Buckner only hitting 246. Could be one of those. Pitching, not the best. Roger Clemens had a real rough start. He's come back a little bit. He's pitched 3 complete games, but he's only 4-3 with a 4.62 ERA, so not doing too well. Uncle Ron's favorite guy, Bob Stanley, 2-4 with a 5.98 ERA. In 55 and 2/3 innings, he's given up 73 hits. So Boston pitching in 435 innings has given up 537 hits. So obviously not the best in the world. And the team ERA is 5.52. So that's tells you all you need to know about them. Is there anybody else out there? Let's look at Cleveland. Look at Joe Carter, the biggest disappointment of all time in this league, hitting 176. And he's really had his struggles, to say the least. Brett Butler is hitting 413, but again, he does not have enough at-bats to qualify. Now, of course, if he keeps his hot hitting up, then he can overtake Alan Trammell for that lead. Look at their pitching. Not much to speak about as far as pitching goes. Doug Jones is on the injured list. When he comes back, he would take over as their closer. Right now, Ernie Camacho is. Let's look at Detroit. Kirk Gibson at 404 average, but again, he does not have enough at bats to lead the league, but Alan Trammell does, and he's hitting 399, and he is leading the league in the batting average spot. They've got several guys with double-digit home runs, Evans, Noakes, and Whitaker to go along with Trammell. So some good offensive numbers there for the Detroit Tigers. With the exception of Chet Lemon, he's been a big disappointment, only 193 average to this point. Pitching-wise, Eric King, maybe the surprise of the staff, 2-2 at a 198 ERA. Kind of split time between starting and relieving. Willie Hernandez, since coming on, has really struggled. He's only been in 3 games, but his ERA is 8.10, and he's blown a couple saves. He does have 2 saves, but he blew 2 of them. Thurman leads the team in saves, but his ERA is 8.53, so they're having some troubles with the pitching. Jack Morris, pretty decent, 6-4, 3.43, nothing to write home about, but not bad either. If you want to see bad, we'll go to the worst place, Seattle Mariners, and Alvin Davis leads them in hitting, but not by much, and the pitching is really brutal. best reliever, Nunez, 2.51 ERA and 5 saves. Best starter is Langston and Moore right there together. Langston does lead the league in strikeouts with 86, but a 5-6 record, and that's a lot. A lot of that is due to their lack of winning overall. Look at Texas. See what Texas is doing. We got Pete O'Brien leading them in hitting with 324 because Porter only has 33 at bats. Ruben Sierra right there at the home run lead though with 15. Pitching wise, Charlie Huff doing pretty well, 7-2 with a 3.03 ERA in 3 complete games. So he's done decently for himself. Mitch Williams, the wild thing, not doing so good, 0-3 with a 7.41 ERA despite his 8 saves. Probably the better reliever they have is Jeff Russell, but he's only had 6 games so far, but he's 2-0 with a 3.72 ERA. So not much going on there. Look at the pitiful Baltimore Orioles. Not much to speak of. Eddie Murray doing Murray things, and Sheets doing pretty well. Ripken kind of so-so, 249 with 7 home runs. Terry Kenny's got 11 home runs, but he's only hitting 229. And of course Wiggins, who was supposed to be the leadoff man, hitting 176. Not filling that role very well at all. The pitching, Mark Williamson is kind of their workhorse. He's gone 22 games, with 3.05 ERA. They did acquire Niedenfuer from the Dodgers in exchange for John Shelby, so he's trying to give their bullpen some help. In 3 games, he's hasn't done much, but just kind of filling in pitching innings, I guess you could say. Not much else on here to talk about for the Orioles. They're just not good. Don't know if there's anybody else out here that. How about California? Downing's hitting 360 with 14 home runs. Pitching wise, Lucas is 3-0 with 2 saves, and I'm sorry, 1-0 with 2 saves and an ERA of 3. Dwayne Bice has been really good, 4-1 with a 3.03 ERA and a couple of saves. As far as their starters go, they don't have a whole lot there that are successful. Candelaria 2-4 with 3.62 ERA is the best of the bunch there, but Mike Witt and Don Sutton and Kurt McCaskill, those guys have not really done much, and of course Lazorco's really been bad. Don't know if there's anybody else on here that I didn't hit. Probably is if I think about it long enough. I may have hit everybody though. I think I went through all these teams. So now let's go back to Minnesota real quick. Just I want to show something real quick. We'll go from primary to versus left to righty. And Ken Herbeck is the poster child for that. He's hitting 389 against right-handers in the replay, only 164 against left-handers, which is why when I'm doing the Minnesota games, I try to bring in left-handed relievers against Herbeck if I can, if the situation warrants it or whatnot. But that's what we try for. And even the Colonel, Joe Klink, their only lefty reliever, righties are getting him for a 407 average, but he's holding lefties to 174. So it's very important to spot him only against lefties and take him right out. Try to get him in a situation where he can face a couple of lefties and then go and pull him after that. So that is that. So now let's go to the league leaders, league stats, and we'll go to, again, there was the standings, saw them already. We'll go to league leaders, and you see Alan Trammell leads the league in hitting at 399. Doubles leader is Joyner with 18. Guillen leads with triples at 6. Home run leader Barfield at 16 with Sierra, Noakes, and Bell right behind him, along with Downing and Herbeck. Lloyd Mosby leads the league in RBIs with his teammate Barfield right behind him. Let's see here. Whoop, hit the wrong button. Lost the screen there. There we go. All right, of course, Don Baylor's going to be leading the league in hit by pitches. That's kind of standard. We go to slugging percentage. Alan Trammell right there on top, along with on-base percentage and OBS, or OPS rather. So that's why he's kind of like the MVP right now of the league, if you want to call it that. He also leads in runs created per 27 outs. And he also leads the league in batting average against lefty pitching at 489. All right, so, and we can see here, let's go to the pitching. Oh, we look at defense. Let's look at defense a little bit. Not really much to talk about on defense. Although surprisingly, Trammell has 11 errors. I would think that'd be high for him, but they've gotten some bad rolls. Go to the pitching. Of course, Jimmy Key leads all of that with 11 wins. Bruce Hurst, 7 losses. Jimmy Key 11-0 with a 1.39 ERA. Bannister's a 2.02 with Viola 2.46. So they're all right there clumped together, but Key definitely the class of that. Jack Morris does lead in complete games with 6. Saves, Righetti, and Hinkie have 12. Plesac has 10. Reardon has 8. Of course, Oakland has a conglomerate 8 for Howell and 7 for Eckersley for a total of 15 saves. So team-wise, they have the most saves. Chicago, same way, 7 for James and 6 for Thigpen gives him 13. So let's see what we're doing with that. Anything else here stand out? Strikeout leader Langston with 86 leads in strikeouts. Candiotti leads in wild pitches, and Guzman leads in balks. So it's kind of pretty much all I wanted to show. I don't think there's much else on here to look at as far as I can tell. If you look at awards voting, it kind of gives you who the computer would put as the MVP, the Cy Young, All-Star selection, Gold Glove selection, stuff like that. But that's pretty much about it. That's all I wanted to show. So, of course, tomorrow, Monday, we will be doing the first game of June the 1st. It'll be Seattle at Toronto. So hopefully you can join for that. It'll be 9 o'clock Eastern Monday morning. Until then, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.